Are you ready for Puck's best baseball postgame show?
Now, is this something where we have to be careful what we say? Do we have because we can't edit it out?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm excited about it. Puck's.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Puck's best baseball. What is it?
Puck's best baseball postgame show.
Postgame show.
Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, we just did Roots, and Roots is pretty good, but this is going to be the best postgame. So I'm excited.
Do you think it's going to be the best one?
I'm just going to take the good stuff that I did on the Roots Sports postgame and put it into your postgame. All the mistakes and stuff that I messed up on, I'm not going to bring it to yours.
Well, it looks like it's live. This is unbelievable. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how I did this. I'll be honest with you. I have no clue how I did it. So congratulations to me and to Brad. We welcome you in. It's pucksports.com live with the great Brad Adam. It's on YouTube. It's on X, as the kids call it. It's brought to you by John Howie Steak. Entertain your next clients, family, friends at John Howie Steak and experience the best dining experience in the city. Visit johnhowiesteak.com. You look great. How does my hat look? Can you see the sweat stains?
I can see no. No.
It's a little sweaty. It's a little sweaty.
You were nervous about going on live today, weren't you?
Well, because I last time we did this live with Divish. It was live on YouTube, but then I couldn't figure out how to go on Twitter. But I figured it out on Twitter what it was, so we went live.
Divish.
No, it was me.
Had to be. Okay.
I was getting echo. I was getting feedback.
What was it?
It's because I didn't hit the mute on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't have thought of that either.
I'm a village idiot. Village idiot.
With you. So good for you.
Okay,
man. And you were here last night, right?
I was there last night I wish I was there today.
Why wouldn't you say hi to me?
Well, because I had a 10-year-old who just wanted to get to his seat. He wanted to eat. He wanted ice cream. Did you see the ice cream I posted up on Twitter?
What was that thing?
It is right behind left center field.
Did you ask for a double or a triple?
No, that's the size. I'm like, are you sure?
Salt and straw?
No, it's not. No. It's not salt and straw. It's just it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was as big as like his torso. It was amazing.
I've never seen anything that big in my life.
Fantastic.
And it was it's the best deal at the ballpark. It's $7.
Wow, that is good. That could be like his whole meal.
He didn't even eat all of it. He ate half of it and was like, "Yeah, I'm done now." I'm like, well, I don't want any because I'm freezing cold, so you got to eat it. All right, Mariners win 5-1. Unbelievable. They get the first sweep of the season. This is Puck's best baseball post-game show. You're going to spit that out real quick. Brad Adams here. Of course, his weekly appearance brought to you by John Howie Steak. We're live here on YouTube, also on X, pucksports.com. You can watch it later, replay on YouTube. Leave comments, subscribe, like everywhere. This will be podcast later on the audio version, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube Music, and our favorite, wherever you find your podcasts. They sweep them. They're playing better baseball. The Rangers won today, and I think last time I checked, the Angels were up. But they're playing better baseball, and they look good, and really no coincidence. Julio was great last night defensively, but starting now to hit the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, he had a couple of doubles today. One was kind of a gift from Stuart Fairchild, an old kid and friend from Seattle Prep. Didn't make the play on his first double, but the second double was a line drive shot to right field. Good to get him going a little bit. Hitting leadoff today because Crawford was off. But we saw how good and what he means to this team, how good he is last night. Making those plays in that seventh inning, first the catch and then the throw to get Ellie De La Cruz, who's the fastest player in the league. That was unbelievable that he threw him out at third. And then for Fraley, our old Mariner friend, to help us out and slow up and not score.
He's pretty good on the bases, don't you think? He's one of those guys. When I think
he ran into 3 outs this series, so yeah.
When I think of Jake Fraley, what I think of is a cerebral baseball player.
That's well put. Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. So that's
good God.
But Julio, even though he's not hitting for power yet or average, he's just starting to find the stroke. He's starting to get the ball in the air, and that's kind of what he does, right? April's always kind of a slow and a ground ball and this, a lot of strikeouts. He had 2 more today, but now he's starting to hit it. He's hitting the ball hard. Now we're going to start to see him hit the fly balls and start to take off. So the offense, Puck, they scored 5 today. They scored 3 runs yesterday and won. They struck out 15 times and won the game. They won 9-3. It's going to be hit and miss. It's going to be scattery all season long. And that's going to be okay because, as we've talked about, the starting pitching has found a groove. They found a rhythm. 7 straight quality starts. And Bryce Miller today said on the postgame show that he didn't feel great. Like he wasn't feeling it the first couple of innings, and he just kind of figured some things out. Yeah, 1 hit through 6 innings. Just the solo home run by Ellie De La Cruz, who's just fantastic to watch. But what Miller's done, what Kirby did, what Gilbert has done in all 4 of his starts, you see how this team is built. You see how this team wins series and starting rotation. I mean, the Reds scored 5 runs this series, and they came in really hot. They've got a nice lineup, and they just couldn't do anything against the Mariners pitchers.
All I can think about right now is the seagulls. Are they coming after you?
No, I'm indoors.
I know, but I can just hear them circling, and they are going to come down and attack you at any moment.
You get so nervous out there because you're unprotected, Puck, and the roof is off, and so you're just praying, right? 3 times they've hit the set. They've hit Kruger twice.
Has it come?
Ask him about it.
Yeah, has it ever hit anyone during a live show?
Oh yeah, it's hit the desk multiple times. I think,
but not like you or Angie or whoever's on the broadcast.
Absolutely, it's hit Kruger twice. I think when he's on the air, you see like this, boom. You feel it, Puck. You feel it on the shoulder, and I can see it on the desk, and I'm like, trying not to vomit. I'm like,
Lord, that's terrible.
And I feel back, because I'm like, God, I'm glad it was Kruger, not me.
Glad it was you. I don't want to get crapped on. I don't want to get crapped on at all.
Crap.
No, I don't know. Miller was brilliant, and Miller, that's a segue from Seagull crap to Miller. Miller has just been fantastic. I mean, 6 innings, the hit, the 7 strikeouts, the 1.85 ERA. And you're right. I mean, in the beginning of the season, he's been the best pitcher, and it's just been unbelievable. Split finger, you guys talked about in the postgame. That was great. He's just been, and I love the way he pitches, and I love his attitude. I love the way he looks. I love the way he sounds. I wish I could just sit with him and just, crush some beers and like put half a can of Kodiak in my lip and just talk about life. It's just everything about him. He's awesome.
A Texas kid who just has fun out there and just figures it out on the fly. He also mentioned on the postgame show, he's not a big mechanics guy. He's kind of like, you and I are golf swing. Like, we don't record it and break it down and have swing teachers and gurus. You and I just go out and say, well, I'm hitting left today, so I better aim right. Or I'm hitting right today, I better aim this way.
I just changed my grip.
I changed the grip. That's what he does. He says he knows nothing really about mechanics. He doesn't pitch thinking about mechanics. He just figures it out as he pitches. Like, how great is that? That's so old school. I love that.
He's the type of guy I would love to be a fly on the wall when one of these analytics guys come in and try to talk to him. Hey, we've noticed that, you get a little bit more break here and there, and can you look at some of these numbers? And he probably just tells him to F off, man. Leave me alone.
I'll just add a new pitch, and I'll just use that and have no idea where it's going. The split finger, he says, a mind of its own. It goes this way sometimes. It'll break this way sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. I just kind of throw it.
Well,
see what happens.
But you brought up a great point, though, and I think it's not only Miller. I think Kirby has a little bit of it. I think Gilbert does too. And you bring up I think a great thing with golf. It's this creativity to decide on the fly what's not working. Let me change something. Let me use my creativity to change it. And then I don't need a lab. I don't need a video. I don't need an analytic person to tell me. I'm doing it by feel. I think of because we both love golf and you brought it up. I think of Scotty Scheffler. It's a guy who's not like, you don't have to put a bunch of videos in front of him and show him all this stuff. And he just, how did that sound off the club? I'll figure it out. And those 3 guys in particular, I think, embody that a lot.
You go back to a guy I think who was the master of that in our favor is Felix Hernandez.
Yeah.
A guy who didn't worry much about who was in the box against him, didn't really worry about what they could hit. He would just throw his game, and then he liked to call it, you read swings. Jamie Moore was the same way. you read swings, and if a guy's late, you keep throwing that fastball, and if the guy's on it, you speed him up. It's the art of pitching where it's not just believe me, analytics has a part in all this for sure. You want to know, what your strengths are, what their strengths are. But a lot of times guys just say, I'm going to pitch to my strength. And if he hits it, he hits it. If, he probably not going to hit it like he normally does or like a team normally was. If I pitch, throw my stuff where I want it, it's hard to hit. And then you trust the defense. You start getting quick innings. You start getting deeper in games. That sets up the bullpen perfectly for the Mariners. A huge difference, too. The Reds, they had 6 innings today from Abbott, their starter. The first 2 games, they had 6 innings combined. So their bullpen's toast, right? So the Mariners, on the other end, have deep starts. Their bullpen is nicely slotted. Who wants to come in and win to face these guys? It's a perfect situation. Starting pitching, Mariners have it again, and that's the strength and what they're built on. And just kind of be able to say, well, this isn't working, I'll try this, because hitters can adjust and say, like, second time through they're on you. Well, now the pitcher needs to adjust again. And that's what Miller can do. That's what Kirby can certainly do. I mean, heck, Kirby picked up a new pitch in the bullpen session.
I know.
Logan was great last night. He said, Kirby picked it up in a week, and it took me 2 years to pick up that slider. I mean, it's just amazing what these guys can do. Mid-game adjustments. It's huge.
Brad Adam is with us, brought to you by John Howie Steak. Big thanks to John. It's our live, it's Puck's best baseball post-game show here. You can find it later if you're just joining us at pucksports.com. That's where all the content is now. Brad is there. Ryan Divish is there. We got Jim Duquette, MLB Network Radio. What else? We got Bill Kruger. John Canzano from johncanzano.com, Mike Garofalo, NFL Network. I'm promoting everything right now just because we have a live audience. Yeah.
Hey, quick, tell me about Divish. Is he kind of like unleashed, able to interview with you again? How's his show's been?
Well, today's episode, which again is podcasted up. You can go check it out, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you find it. He was laying in bed.
Shirtless, I hope. Can you see anything?
Not shirtless, but laying in bed. Looked like he just woke up. I think he was alone. Yeah, I think his girlfriend is still back in Montana, but alone in Ording. He's living in Ording for some reason. And then he's got some weird painting above his bed, this Japanese maple painting. And I don't know. I don't ask a lot of questions with Divish. I just say, hey, whatever, bud.
One of the most uncomfortable Zoom interviews I've ever done that reminds me of that, it was Mike Cameron, our good friend, Mike Cameron, in his bed. He was laying down. And I think he had his shirt off, and I was like, what are we doing here?
No, can you just put it on, bud?
Sit up somewhere or go to a different room? No, laying down. And he's like, Cam, he's like, what's up, baby? What's up, baby? And I'm like,
I don't need you to sweet talk me, Cameron. Just tell me about what
the outfielders. Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to know what's going on there. The Julio batting. Okay, he had 2 hits today. I know one of them, he struck out twice. One of them obviously was gifted to him. But do you think he likes it? Are you more comfortable hitting in that leadoff role?
That's a good question. He certainly, liked that when he was there last year. But when JP got on such a great stretch and what a great season he had, Julio fit that second slot just well. But, I think he does kind of like, being the guy to lead off and kind of set the tone for the offense. I think he's comfortable 1, 2, or 3, or 4. It'll be interesting to see kind of where they put him ultimately. That number 2 spot has been kind of the analytics darling. Your Mike Trouts and your guys just get that extra at bat as opposed to hit 3rd or 4th. You have a chance maybe to drive in less runs. So it's kind of, I don't know, but it's all about ABs and with him it's just, I don't know. I think he loves being out there and loves playing in front of the crowd and being in the spotlight. But so
different from when you and I were watching it, though, growing up.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Like Julio, when we were growing, he'd be the number 3 hitter.
Absolutely. Yeah, the 2 hitter is always the guy who could bunt.
Right.
Get the leadoff guy over to second, hit behind the runner, hit a ground ball to second. Yeah, it was very little power, is very nothing, And then, George Springer kind of was able to hit first or second with the Astros all those years and hit a lot of home runs. They're like, well, maybe we can put a power guy up first or second. And that's kind of where teams have gone. And Julio probably bounce, 1, 2, 3 for the next foreseeable future. But you're right. It was always like your best kind of hitter, 3rd, your power hitter, it's 4, and then you go down from there. So it's
the
different.
Seagulls are coming after you, man. I'm telling you, they are circling right now. Brad Adam with us.
Kruger.
They're looking for Kruger, Root Sports. He's joining us on Puck's Best Baseball Postgame Show as the Mariners victorious there over the Reds 5-1. If you're just joining us and get caught up, you want to get caught up on it, it will be a podcast later up on all the platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube replay, also up there at pucksports.com. We talked about Bryce Miller, great performance again for Bryce, the 7 strikeouts, 1 hit, 6 innings of work. Julio with the 2 hits, Haniger there with a hit as well. He continues to just have a great start to the season, Brad. And here's the thing that and I want to knock on wood because I hate even saying this about Haniger. It's not just, do you have wood there? Can you knock on wood too?
Yeah, I got some. Yeah,
just absolutely. Something because it's going so great for him right now. And and in the back of my mind, all I can think about, and I shouldn't even say it, is that something is going to happen and something stupid's going to happen.
Right. Something bizarre is going to happen, right? He's going to get hit or he's going to slam his car, finger in the car door,
just something stupid.
Something. But you're right. It's so fun to watch right now. A healthy Mitch Haniger, 8-game hitting streak, another RBI single. He's I believe he's played in 18 of the 19 games. So he's only.
You think he's playing? Did you envision he'd play this much?
No. But when they got Garver to be the DH, you're thinking, man, that's going to be tough for Mitch. Mitch Haniger, because he's going to have to play right field a lot. But they've given him a few DH days. It'd be nice to get Garver going like we saw today, his first home run. But Mitch, it has just been a perfect start for him. Team's turning things around. He's been just so good as we knew he would be in the clubhouse, and off to a fast start, which is great to see. And now you see the team feeling pretty good overall, right? It's not just the pitchers feeling good. Now the hitters are starting to contribute. Everything's kind of gelling. Off day, you go to Colorado, really bad team. You're thinking series win, maybe sweep, and get some big momentum going into Texas. That'll be a fun 3-game set next week. The defending champs. First time we've seen the Rangers this year. And again, just a game back in the West. So everything's working out well for the Mariners. And someone said, they asked me if they were going to, win the West, if you could take 90 games, this, that. You look at I don't think it's going to take 90 games, Puck. I think.
Well, not at this pace, for sure.
88 is going to win. You see what Houston is doing? Braves just swept them. So they're 6-13 or 6-14. Like, what?
Yeah.
Now, it's really early. I know that. And they are certainly not going to be below 500 this year. But for them to play 88-win baseball, I mean, they're starting to run out of time where they're going to have to start playing like 700 baseball for a few months to get.
Yeah, the Mariners have been
500. So
the Mariners have been gifted by the other teams not playing well to start this season because up until this series, they hadn't played well. And really, I think we talked about this maybe just, texting back and forth late night when we're in bed with our shirts off, is that they were lucky to be where they're at record-wise.
Yes.
But because the style of play and how they were playing, not indicative of their record, is much worse, actually. So because the other teams in front of them haven't done anything, and to no fault of like Jose Altuve for the Astros, who's killing it, but the rest of the team is not. They have allowed themselves not to get too far behind, and you're right. They're right there, and they're pitching. I was blown away last night by that stat that I was oblivious to for a second, was when Gilbert had walked late in the game, that they had gone 35 innings without a walk.
Think about that. I mean,
that's remarkable.
It's like 4 games just about without a walk. Yeah.
And they were terrific again tonight, where they only have one walk, only the one walk with Miller. The bullpen was great. Thornton, Spire, and Voth, they all went, 3 innings? They struck out 5, 0 walks, 0 hits, nothing. So the bullpen was great. It was just like, this was the exact game that they have wanted and the recipe that they'd like to every single game, right? Starting pitching good, bullpen's great, and then they get enough offense in your fine.
Exactly. And when you look at the teams, you're talking about the West, Houston's rotation has not pitched well, and their bullpen, who on paper is really good bullpen. We talked about the Astros adding Hader and Presley and Abreu. They've been terrible. Presley gave up 2 more runs today in the 8th inning. They have not been good at all. Texas's rotation is not very strong. Their bullpen is still iffy, right? Their offense is great, But what we've seen this last 7 games, even when the Mariners aren't scoring much, they can still win with the rotation of the bullpen. So the Mariners' rotation is set up so much better than Texas and Houston. Now, whether that plays out and they win the West, we'll see. But just like right now, in just kind of a winning formula, like you're not going to score 8 runs a game, even if you're Texas. Houston, great offense too. You're not going to score 8 runs a game. You got to be able to win close games, low scoring games. And that's how the Mariners are built. So they're built for the long haul, I think, better than those two teams. Now, we'll see when Texas gets their guys back in DeGrom and Scherzer and everything. And I know it's, 140 more games to go. But you just like kind of the way the Mariners are set up and how they're playing and how important pitching is in the bigs. And we've seen that this last, 7 games or so.
And it sets up perfectly here for them, too. Like, to get it going offensively, too, for them, which they've shown life here in these last few games here with the Reds, right, is that you score 5, you get 3, yesterday, you get 9 in the first game. But you mentioned they go to Colorado, thin air, hitter's ballpark. They should be able to be, for the next 3 days, I mean, they have the off day tomorrow, they should be slamming the ball all over that place Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they go to Texas, which is another great place to hit the ball. So, I mean, they've got a chance to, get kind of fat and happy on the road here in 2 parks in which you should have some offensive success coming off a series in which it finally looked like they were getting to what I think some thought that they potentially could do here when they acquired all these guys in the offseason.
Absolutely. You're looking at a, 4-2 road trip. You're hoping for a winning road trip and come back and face 2 good teams at home in Arizona and Atlanta. That's going to be really fun.
The Kelnick return. I'm already looking forward to it.
It's not Acuna or Olsen, but it's
Kelnick
and the Braves. I'm going to start promoting that. Yeah, forget Acuna. I'm going to just sub in Kelnick's name for Acuna.
Well, that's what I didn't like when you guys were doing the promo on Root Sports, and I love all the fine people at Root Sports, everybody in front of the camera, behind the camera. Love you to death. You're all talented. Get Acuna out of there. It's not Acuna. Put in Kelnick. Put in his image in there. Just do it.
All right. Hey, getting back to the offense, my friend. I can't wait to interview him, by the way.
That is the best pivot in the history of pivots ever.
And let's try to get him to say something bad about Seattle.
Well, of course I want him to say something. Doesn't everybody want him to say something?
Just put a mic in front of his face. Anyway, offense. They've allowed the starters, this homestand, they've only allowed opposing starters to go 6 innings one time. That was today. Abbott looked pretty good today, going 6 innings. Before that, they've knocked the starters out early. The first game, Montas, 45 pitches in the first inning, 2 innings. Hunter Green, 98 pitches to get through 4. So what they're doing, even when, they're not maybe putting up big numbers and scoring like yesterday, only scored 3, but they're grinding at bats, getting walks. They had 7 walks, 7 more walks today. So the offense is putting pressure on even without putting up big numbers. And you knock the starter out, you get to that pen, especially early, you're going to have a lot of success. And they've done that. Keep the momentum going. Colorado, you mentioned, great place to hit. Texas, great place to hit. So, this could be the start of something. Because we talked about, when do they get it going? We know they had slow starts in April last couple of years. When did they get it going? Well, when does Julio get it going? And you see signs of everything coming together right now.
Well, I think it's the decision of their new offensive coordinator to script the first 15 plays of the game. I think we saw that difference here in the Red Series. Would you agree with that?
At-bats? Yeah, first 15 at-bats. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's great.
That would be great if he did. Right? Hey, Skip, what's the difference? Well, we've been scripting the first 15 at-bats. How does that really work? You don't know what they're throwing, sir. That would just be the best. Hey, we were there yesterday, and I took the vampire, the 10-year-old, for one reason and one reason only, to go see the unbelievable physical specimen for my own eyes in Ellie De La Cruz. And I think if you believe in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, when he delivered what I would like to create a baseball player to look like, it's that.
Oh my gosh!
Here you go, unbelievable. He is. I've only watched him on TV and highlights and all that, but to see him up close and personal is just, a thing of beauty, man.
Think about this guy. Now, last year they played in Cincinnati, and JP called him an avatar. Like he couldn't believe, right? Like you said, you create this guy. He's like 6'6". He's got, think how good Julio is in everything. He's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Ellie's got more power. He's faster. He's got a better arm.
It's
what?
It's
How
everything.
could
I
one
mean,
player? It's everything. And at 6'6", play shortstop. You see the play he made today in the hole. Haniger hit that ball. He goes
he's
way into left field, gets it, sets, and goes. He throws 95 plus. The relay throw last night to home
last
was
night he had
95.
Garver dead. He threw it
Dead.
so hard the catcher couldn't hold on to the
Dropped it.
ball.
Yeah. He's exciting to watch. Home run today. I mean, he's got unbelievable power and speed combo. It's just, it's fun to watch. I kept, secretly, especially when the Mariners were up and I knew it looked like they were going to win. You're like, okay, let's Taylor Cruz hit one in the gap, man. Just hit the gap,
that's all I wanted to see last night at the game. I just wanted to see him
go. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even care if it would have meant they won. I just wanted to see him run around the bases.
I tell you that,
there was part of me.
Hey,
it's so bad when he got thrown out at third. I was like, oh damn. I mean, that kind of sucked.
How about the
kind of wanted to get in there?
I know on Class A in Game 1 where he ranges and catches he covers like 114 feet.
He's
his top flight. Nobody makes that play.
No,
so
he's
it's
great.
Fun to
hey,
watch.
Good to see your guy Raleigh. You're Angie, who's crushing on the post game show, by the way. With a great just how much she loves watching him hit, but hitting from the right side, something that she noted in the post game he doesn't do a lot, but that was a no doubter there for Cal Raleigh, and it would be nice to see his bat get going and the power that he can obviously more so from the left side, but I mean his power in general would just help this team tremendously moving forward.
Yeah, I mean 30 home runs last year. He's one of the guys that has that power, and that's his second home run already right-handed. He had 4 last year, so halfway there, he's starting to get maybe more at bats right-handed, which is a good sign. But
I would be playing him every day.
Well, it's hard to play a catcher every day. I know,
I would with what's behind him. Yes, I'd be playing him every day.
And they might end up doing that. But yes, with an off day, I'm sure he'll play the Colorado series because then there's another off day and then the Texas series. So he might play the entire road trip. So we'll see. But maybe you can slide him into DH once of those, get him off his feet a little bit.
The other day, I know they had Rayleigh was at first base the other day, but a couple of days ago, I think there was a picture that surfaced from the pregame, and they had Garver taking some balls at first base. Have they talked about that at all? About mixing him in at all at playing first?
I just
or is there some trade secret you can't give up? The cat got your tongue there, Adam. Jesus.
No, I think maybe he was just in an emergency situation.
Just screwing around?
Maybe, or if he's not playing, or if something happens to Ty, or they need a right-handed bat off the bench and Ty's out or something, or whatever, they pinch run for Ty. I mean, I don't know. But I would think that, I mean, I know they don't want him to catch, but if they were going to put Garver in a position, I don't know, maybe it would be catch or.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. I brought this up with Divich the other day. I get what they don't want to do it. He wants to primarily be a DH and no doubt because his strength and his purpose on the team is to hit. But they have a real issue at backup catcher right now. It's a real issue. And again, this doesn't factor into today's game and all that. But I think moving forward, whether they make a move eventually to replace that, which I think they should at some point, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would hurt them every now and again to throw him in there. And because obviously, I mean, I'm being, smart ass about running Raleigh out there all the time. But when they do have to give him a break, to maybe let him catch one game or so just to avoid Savala. But, I understand that his purpose is to hit and they don't want to screw that up. But I would just counter with, hey, he's DHing right now and he's not hitting, even though he had the home run today. I wonder with the guy. Yeah, and I wonder with a guy like him that, some of these guys, when they make that transition, right, you probably talked to Edgar about this and other DHs.
Yeah.
When you're used to playing, he wasn't playing every day, but when you're used to playing in the field and then you go to just being a DH and that's all you do, I don't know. I think that's a hard adjustment, is it not?
Absolutely. It is. And, Nelson Cruz talked about that too, trying to figure out, and he talked to Edgar about it too, about a routine to figure out, what you do between at bats. Do you go to the cage and hit? Do you, look at video? Do you stay on the bench? Do you, just take some dry swings? It's a lot of time to just sit and figure things out. So, it takes guys a while to kind of, know what works for them, and I think he had some DH time with the Rangers past few years that might have helped. But being a full-time DH, not many guys are full-time DHs anymore.
No.
So that's a skill. And so, maybe he'll figure some things out, but not a bad idea to get him behind the dish. I don't know how that situation is going to play out, but it's a slow start for sure for Zavala. He hasn't caught very well. Some of their
pitchers have had tough times pitching to him.
That too. Yeah. So that's.
Did Garver do any in spring training? Did he get behind there at all in any game?
Boy, I don't.
You think a couple of guys doing Puck's best baseball postgame show would know
Might
this?
Know that? I don't know that.
I don't know.
I'm going to say no. Yeah, probably, right? I bet he did.
I would think maybe they got in there for a couple or something. I don't know. Let's just make it up as we go. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No one's going to fact check us on this type of stuff. My God, no one's watching or listening anyway. So what matters? All right. Hey, we'll cut you loose. Thanks for being on the. Yeah, we're 30 minutes in. We don't know anymore. People will tune out after 30 minutes. They're like, I'm out.
Well, you owe me something, right? Because I correctly predicted the Masters winner. Because we took Scheffler off because that's too easy. Like UConn and basketball. Who cares?
Did you go with Oberg?
Oberg. I did.
Is it Oberg or Oberg?
Oberg? Yeah.
Well, I don't. I've heard it both ways.
Second,
one was Oberg, one was Oberg.
Hey, but that's basically first because we took Scheffler out. So I picked the Masters.
What would you like? Gift card from John Howie Steak?
Maybe a gift card from John Howie. And tell him to come by my table and say hello.
Yeah. Next time you go there.
6 years, never met him.
I love when you tell that story when you go there and like, hey, excuse me, is John Howie here, please? Excuse me, who are you? Yeah, no, we're not going to bring him by. He's never there.
He sponsors my radio show.
Sponsors me? Brad Adam? Kind of a big deal?
No idea who I am. But
no
I'm glad
clue.
he knows you.
He thinks you cover the Seahawks. For God's sakes, man. You're the best for doing this thing. Staying late with the Seagulls in the background, the press box, Root Sports. Day off tomorrow. Then it's a 5:40 start against the Rockies. Pre-game will be at what time on Root Sports?
What time's the game? 5?
It's 5:40, Brad.
5:40, so 5. Hey man, that's 2 days from now, man.
Okay.
I'm in off mode.
Good, as you should be. So 5:40 first game. Brad may or may not be there at 5 on Friday there on Root Sports. Brad, you are the best. Thanks for doing it. It's all brought to you by John Howie Steak. Brad, normally, if you're watching this for the first time, you're like, where have you been? Well, I'm on my own thing now, pucksports.com. Brad joins us every Wednesday on the program. His episode's released at 1 o'clock. And then when they're day games like this, especially it's always on a Wednesday,
killing us.
We flip-flop. Brad doing the post-game show, and then Divish does the pregame, and then somebody else does the pregame and postgame. So Divish was on earlier today. It's up at pucksports.com, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Where you can just go in the bio here on Puck 2040 on Twitter. You'll find all of that stuff. And Divish lying in his bed under a painting of a Japanese maple, getting ready to fly to Denver, Colorado. And I informed him when we were doing the show that, Alaska canceled all their flights? Or at that point, they were going to cancel all of them. But I think he got off. He's going to land there in Denver. So Brad and Divish are on Wednesdays, and then Divish comes back on Friday. But all episodes on pucksports.com drop at 1 o'clock. You are the best, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Puck. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for watching. Thursday's show will include a visit with Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, brought to you by Hartley & Hartley Insurance, and also Zogs on Fox Island. Also a visit with Rob Staten, Seahawks Draft blog. Rob, brought to you by Superior Linen Service. We'll talk to you then. As always, we promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!